Hello, my name is Matthew Williams, and today we're going to talk about the richness and what that means. Now, most people might think when they hear the word richness, they think that something is, how shall I say it, very expensive and valuable price-wise. But richness has many different definitions, such as the usual, expensive. Number two, its value, and I don't mean money-wise, I mean its value to a certain person. So, for example, think of something like a family heirloom. Now that's valuable to a whole family, or it could just be valuable to one person because it's their favorite item. And that's valuable not in money, but it's valuable in love, and people cherish it. Now, third definition that is also richness that many people don't think of is rarity. Like, oh, this item is rare because it was something that was hardly ever seen, or this item is rare because not very many people would have it and achieve it. Now that I've discussed what rarity means and the different definitions there are, we're going to take a look at these two paintings that I have right here. So the first painting we're going to take a look at is the top one, which is called Oranges and Tissues by William Joseph McClosky. Now, according to the Bowers Museum site, this painting, the oranges, was painted when citrus fruit was still a rare treat for America. So, citrus fruit was mainly in the West and in Southern California. And kids were super excited when they got it. It was basically think of getting a laptop, or just think of your last Christmas or the last couple Christmases. What was your big ticket item that you were like, oh my gosh, I really need this, and if I don't get this, I'm gonna be very upset? Now, how did you feel when you got that item? That is what it was like for kids when they got oranges. They were so happy to get oranges, even though it was just an orange, which I still can't fathom to this day. But oranges were something that was super rare back then, and they weren't just rare by themselves. It was the fact that they were in tissue. Tissue is what made oranges rare and valuable. Children, sometimes that would be a child's only present would be an orange. Now, this orange painting, along with 39 others of McClosky's, are in the Bowers Museum, which is the most of his works that has ever been in a museum, which is a big accomplishment that most people cannot say they have ever done. Also, according to the Fine Arts Museum of San Francisco, this is a 19th century oil on canvas painting. It was painted in 1890, and this painting was in many galleries before settling at the Bowers Museum. For example, it's been in the Gills Art Galleries, the University of Arizona Art Gallery, and the annual exhibition of oil paintings, just to name a couple. Now that I've talked about the oranges, just think about that. Think about how rare an orange was back then. And think about that it's also, in a way, rich. Because it was very rare and not very many people got it. And next time you go look at an orange in your backyard, just think about what I told you and how this is something that many people were so happy to get and so excited about. Now, let's take a look at this bottom painting right here. It is called Ville de Avary by Jean-Baptiste Corot. And this one is rare in the usual sense because it's expensive and very pricey. According to the Met Museum, this was created in 1870. It's an oil on canvas painting. Corot often painted large, huge ponds, like the one you see in this picture right here. He often created huge ponds because that was what his backyard was like, because that's what his family inherited. So every time he would have a large, huge pond, just think about the backyard that he had in it. This painting is currently in the National Gallery of Art, and Jean-Baptiste, obviously what it sounds like, he's a French artist. This painting also has a woman, as you can't really tell, but he always painted a woman in the background. No one really knows why he did that, but it was just something that was one of his signatures. Now that I've talked to you about both these paintings, I hope you can really appreciate both of them. Not just the bottom one for it being expensive, but for the top one, especially for knowing extremely amazing information that you never knew before. I believe this is something that we can all take away from, and something that is just so incredible that you might not have known otherwise. Thank you for your time.